Okay, this is a video on how I changed my iPhone 6 screen. The screen was cracked, so this is me putting the suction cup on top of the screen, the old screen. And you use a penelope screwdriver, a little screwdriver to pull the two end screws out right next to the charger port. There's two screws there. I drew a little diagram on that sheet of paper there. Um, Put little circles where everything goes. So you just try to keep everything in order. And then you kind of pull up on it as you're holding it. And it'll start coming up slowly. And see, I'm trying to pry it up with my nail. But I decided to get the little pry tool that came with it. Some of these screens come with little tool packs, and this one came with a tool pack. It had a little small Phillips penelope screwdriver and the pry tool and the suction cup. And you just pull it up slowly, and don't pull it all the way off. Just kind of hold it and lean it back, but keep it down at the bottom, because that's where the wires are attached. Even though that screen is messed up, still want to be careful with it. And if you like, you can disconnect the battery, and that's another video. But here's the 4 screws that you have to remove. I end up removing an extra screw here on the corner, a 5th screw, but I just removed it because it seemed like it was holding the plate, but I had a place for it. Just go on around. So I drew little circles there to put the screws. Drew a little diagram of how the plate was made and where the screws are placed. I know on the iPhone 4s, well, on the iPhone 5s, there's like 3 wires coming out of the screen. This one has 4. But you just pretty much just do the reverse of how you take it off. Just take them off one at a time, and each connect is kind of stacked on top of each other, so you have to look at it and see which one comes off first, which one comes off second, third, fourth. Okay, let's prop one, prop the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. There you go. That's a new screen. And the screen, the wires are it's just like just straight on there. You look at the other screen and see how the wires and where they're bent at.
Press it down.
And pretty much you want to try to bend them in the same
there.
spot.
So
four of them together, and just put your nail there and just hold it where you want it to bend at, and just bend it, and just bend it, kind of push it down kind of tight, because when you put the screen down on it, you don't want anything to be
just put it
pushing up on it, so you want to lay down really good. So like I say, one at a time, just do the reverse of how you took them off. You got to kind of hold it with your finger and just kind of rub and just push down, and it'll snap in there. But you can't push down hard. You got to make sure it's seated, and then you feel it and snap in each one of them. It's not that easy, But you just got to take your time. You can eventually get it done. And you got to snap them down while you're holding that screen in place. The last wire, it kind of fold over, so you got to snap it in and then fold it across where you snapped it at, and push it up underneath the other wires where it belongs.
Put your plate back.
Okay, now put the plate back on. You got to kind of line the plate up over the screw holes where the screws go in it, and that way, because the screw's so small, you got to just start with the longest screw
Start putting the
first.
screws back on a reverse order.
That's what I did. I started with the longest one, and once you get that one in, then the other one, you have to just move that plate until it's right directly over the other screw hole, and then just take your time doing each one. It's kind of time consuming. Don't try not to press down hard. You don't want to miss the plate and then jab and break something inside the phone. So you got to make sure you're not pushing down on it hard. Look at that. Gently, I'm trying to put the screw in the hole. Let me put it on the end. And kind of, I had to hold it with my other hand. Lean the screen across my hand while I'm starting the screw. Got it in there. Second one, I just did it across from it, so you can kind of line that plate up, make it a little easier for the other one. Like I said, you don't want to slip off, the screwdriver slip off and tear up something, so just take your time screwing it back in there. And you don't have to torque it, but just snug it just enough. And some of them kind of hard to get in there, I tell you. And my eyes started losing focus. I had to kind of close my eyes and refocus. I sped this video up a little bit in some areas. what you want those screws to kind of magnetize. Sometimes you have to touch that battery in the back down there. Well, it's the magnetized earpiece end down there. Well, the mouthpiece down there on the end. You probably saw me rub it on it. That little screwdriver on the end down there. That silver plate. And it magnetized it, and I was able to, the screw was able to magnetize to the screwdriver. Okay, there you go. Make sure it's seated down at the bottom, kind of down in there. My the paper that was on the screen was in the way, so I couldn't seat it down at the bottom. I had to kind of hold it kind of low, but angled, and then push down. There you go. And it just automatically came on after I snapped everything in place. I was surprised because the power was off. I'm putting my screws back in the end with that Penelope screwdriver. Just snugging them in there. I guess I'm just letting it go through the functions and line up, but I didn't have my screen turned up. It just dark.
Ooh.
Hmm?
Eventually I just swiped up and turned up the screen so you could see it lit up.